YouTube channel. I'm Nicole Schwartz-Diaz, also known as the Long Island Realtor. This video is for all my buyers out there. Anyone who's thinking about purchasing a home, then this video is for you. I'm basically just going to lay out the steps involved in a real estate transaction so that you can get an idea of what your journey will look like moving forward. So the first thing that you should do if you're not a cash buyer is contact a mortgage professional to determine what you can afford to purchase. The first thing they'll probably do is what's called a pre-qualification, which is based on consumer submitted data. So you'll tell your lender what your income is, what your assets are, and what debt you currently have. The next step is a pre-approval, which goes a little further and is based on consumer verified data. So your credit report and also documentation that you'll provide to the lender, such as pay stubs and bank statements. This is a much more sure number for you to work with. So I always suggest you have this before you start looking so you really know what you can afford to purchase. Also, having a pre-approval letter is an absolute necessity when you're looking at houses. If you find the one you love and you want to make an offer, without that pre-approval, you really can't. So you're much better off having one before you start your search. Once you have your pre-approval letter, the next step is for you to find a real estate agent for you to work with. What the real estate agent will do is consult with you to determine what it is you're looking for, what locations you want to be in, how many bedrooms you need. They will also be an integral part of your transaction because they will work with all parties involved. They'll coordinate all the details of the process and make sure that everything goes smooth. So once you found your realtor, they'll start sending you some properties, and when you found a couple that you like and you want to see, you'll let them know and they can schedule some showings for you. So you guys will start going out and looking at properties together, and when you find the one you love and want to make an offer on, congratulations, that's your next step, to put your offer together. So your real estate agent will prep what's called a sales agreement, which will outline the terms of your transaction, or your offer rather. And what that means is they'll put on the purchase price, your down payment amount, which is typically split, some on contract and some on closing. So you guys will talk about that and determine what works for you. And also what type of financing you'll be obtaining. They'll submit the sales agreement along with your pre-approval letter, as well as an agency disclosure form to the listing agent, which will then present that to the seller. If you get an accepted offer, congratulations. The next step is to schedule your home inspection. So, the home inspection should really be done as soon as possible, within a day or two of having an accepted offer, because the seller legally is allowed to continue to show that property and hear other offers until you are in contract. So the sooner you have your home inspection done, the better. So the licensed home inspector will come out to the house. They'll look for any defects with the property. They'll look at the foundation, the plumbing, the electrical, the heating, etc., and provide you with a report that lets you know of any defects they were able to see. If you're satisfied with the details of the report, then you will go to contract. So the next step is the seller's attorney will send the buyer's attorney, your attorney, a copy of the contract. Your attorney will make an appointment with you to come in and sign that contract. You'll also bring your down payment check, whatever amount you agreed to put down at the contract, and that gets held in escrow until closing. Once you've signed, your attorney will send that over to the seller's attorney, and then the seller will make an appointment with their client to come in and sign as well. Once the seller has signed, you're then in full contract, and this is called a fully executed contract. Your attorney will then share that contract with your lender, who can start their process. So the next step is for an appraiser to go out to the property, and basically their job is to determine if the agreed upon purchase price is above or below market value. If the agreed upon purchase price is above market value, then there's three options. The seller can agree to take the lower appraised value. You can agree to pay the difference from the appraised value and the purchase price, or you can decide not to purchase this home. If you decide to move forward, or the appraisal comes in well and everything is okay, then the lender will continue to work on their processing and underwriting to get you what's called a mortgage commitment. Your attorney will order a title report, which will show them that the seller actually does indeed own that property. It'll also let them know if there's any open permits or COs on the property, anything that wasn't done properly and recorded with the town. And it'll also make sure that there are no liens on the property as well. If everything's good and there's a clear title, then that's great. You're good to keep moving forward with the mortgage process. And shortly after that, you'll receive what's called a clear to close. So this means exactly what it sounds like. You're good to go to closing. This typically takes about a week or two to schedule because you have a lot of people to coordinate. The sellers, you the buyer, your attorney, the seller's attorney, and also the bank's attorney. Your real estate agent should also attend, but they don't really have to agree to the closing date. So once you have your closing date, congratulations, you're almost there, and you will do a final walkthrough with your real estate agent, typically either a few hours or just the night before closing. So basically the final walkthrough is just a chance for you to go to the house and make sure that everything that's supposed to be taken out of the house has been taken out. If anything was supposed to be fixed as a result of the inspection, you're going to make sure that it's been fixed, and you'll just make sure that everything's in the same condition that you agreed to purchase it in. If everything's okay, then congrats, you're on your way to the closing table. And at the closing table, the seller will sign over the deed to the house. You'll sign a whole bunch of mortgage documents, and congratulations, you just bought a house. At the end of that transaction, you'll get the keys to your home, and you are now homeowners. So there's a lot of steps involved in purchasing a home, and it really helps to have a licensed real estate salesperson to guide you on this journey who can really walk you through each step, make sure that everything goes smoothly. The team that you have behind you is very important. Your lender, your attorney, they should all really work together to get you to a successful close and a stress-free process. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Stay tuned for an upcoming video which will be a follow-up to this to talk about the mortgage process in a little more detail. Thanks so much for listening. Everyone have an awesome day.